Do you know the way?
What?
Do you know the way?
What way?
The way.
D-way or D-wing?
The way.
I don't know the way because I don't know where I'm going.
You smell of Ebola.
Anyways, this game is Asseto Corsa, and wow, there's so many options. This feels like GTA, or not GTA, Gran Turismo, I mean. And it's wild, like just getting through the menu and trying to find out how to reverse your car. And this, I describe this game as like, I don't know which direction I'm going, but any direction is a good direction. Because we tried to race, and apparently we were waiting for the lights to change from red to go in just practicing in the race, and apparently it never changed. So I don't know. I think this is, it seems like an interesting simulation game. The graphics are pretty decent considering we can't run them on max without probably blowing up the laptop. So it just seems very complicated. Like you can't run this on a portable device.
Very Forza Motorsport like.
Yeah.
It's
better though.
I think people who love racing games are going to love this game. Me personally, I'm not big into racing sims. I'm more of a racing arcade kind of guy. You know, your Mario Karts, your
Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer.
Actually, Mario Kart would probably be my racing jam. Maybe even Lego Racers or Nuts and Bolts, ironically enough.
Are you talking about Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts?
Yes, that Nuts and Bolts.
Not the food?
Not the food.
That's good. I feel like this game has so much potential, but like every corner of this game, I don't know if you thought this as well. I thought it, well, I felt it, and now I think it, but I think therefore I am. But also, I just find like every stage of this game, like you tried to choose a different stage, and we went through 2 or 3 stages, and then it wouldn't let us choose a different stage. Then we went to pick a car, and there's like 5 cars in DLC, and I didn't see the DLC at first. So it's like this is a game where you have to like keep throwing money at it to get the maximum effect.
Which is just basically how it is for most of these vehicle-based video games. Like, you want an extra car to look blue? Money. Do you want your car to look not blue? Money. You want your car to go at least 1 pixel faster than the other car? Money.
And that means you're losing money, not gaining money. Just felt like it needed to be said.
Yeah.
But
like, here's the thing about DLC, guys. If like, to know the total value of a game, like, add the value of the game plus DLC, and then think for yourself, is it actually worth all that money?
yeah, and I think that's why this game, I think, was like $50 or so, and I got it on sale for $25, $30 or something. So it was kind of a big investment just to get the game, let alone any DLC. And I mean, it looks cool, and you said Forza, and it seems to be light years, like 3 or 4 years after the Forza that launched on Xbox One, but it's night and day. I mean, the amount of detail. What bothers me is the fact I can't actually see my own car. I mean, I don't mind driving inside the vehicle from inside, but seeing the actual, what you're moving is easier when you do turns. And like, you saw me spinning out, like with a Lambo, it makes sense, like a Lamborghini, but like the average car, if you can't see your car when you're moving, it's really hard to, you know, maneuver around a corner. And we tried every single perspective available, but found no way to get out of the car, like out of car, behind the car view.
Yeah, it's always just in the car, which, because you have the dashboard and the roof and the sides, basically blocks like almost the entire screen.
Yeah, and I think there's got to be a way to do it. I'd be really surprised if there isn't a way to see the actual physical car, but like not having that point of view when you're playing the game, and you know, you don't want to go back. That was the thing. Like, once you're in the race, you can't check your controls, which is like a serious, like, you can't change your controls, you can't check your controls. Like, to me, that's like, what the heck? Like there with all those menus, there's no menus once you're actually in a race.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, when you launch the game, it actually launches a launcher, and then you actually have to launch the game.
Yeah.
This actually threw us off because while we were playing the game, we got stuck on a loading screen and thought that the game was frozen, only to realize, oh, no, wait, we actually had to switch windows.
Well, Windows also popped up and said, do you want to block? They're trying to connect online, and it's like, okay, but it could have potentially crashed the game, and then Bandicam started being weird too after that. So
Yeah,
I don't think it's a bad game. It's just this is a game that you have to be hardcore. You probably have a racing car bed, and you're willing to spend, maybe $50 to hundreds of dollars buying DLC. And it's one of those games that if you're willing to put in that time and the money, then you're going to really, enjoy the maximum effort of this developer's work. But for the average person, like, they'll never want to spend that much time or money, being the best Lamborghini driver and showing it to people via replay or whatever.
Yeah, personally, now, this is my opinion because of a bias against the genre it represents, but I only recommend this game for the hardcore racing games, like racers, yeah. This game is just, it kind of just feels like a Forza Motorsport clone.
I don't know. It looks really well polished. It's just I feel like navigating the menus, like they should have just had, I know it's a simulator, but if they had like a just race arcade mode, like sub mode, just something that simplified all the options, I think it would get further for. But yeah, I think it's definitely like a super niche game. It's not like Gran Turismo where people that even don't usually race a lot of or pick up a lot of racers could enjoy. This game's like really for the hardcore of racers. So I recommend it in the sense like 7.5 maybe for people that aren't obsessed with racing games and you want something new. If you're a hardcore racer, you probably would give this a higher rating, maybe 8 or a 9. But I just feel like it's just there's so many hoops you have to go through to just race. And, like, it doesn't explain anything, and, yeah.
Yeah, I have nothing else to say. It's just not my cup of coffee.
Yeah. It's tea when you want coffee. All right, well, keep on gaming, guys, and wait for the lights.
I do have one thing to mention. I actually tried crashing into a car in this game. No actual simulated crash. It's just you crash through, the car goes through the crash and just drives off its merry way with no sign of damage.
I like how I reversed into a car that was passing by. I thought that was one of my favorite highlights. Other than the fact I tried to do a barrel roll inside the car and I still survived, but then it rebooted me back to the racing line. So I was kind of sad. I was like, I should have gotten a gold star for that because I flipped over twice. And at one point I was like flying in the air, like kind of like Superman, but in a car. And I don't know how I didn't die or dislocate my spine and everything else and break my spleen. But that was cool too. I like that. So anyways, keep on gaming, guys.
Adios.
Bye-bye. Don't hurt yourself.